It's been a while, but we're back with another Chinese knockoff item. Well, in a way, I suppose this isn't really a knockoff, but it does knock off Nintendo in a way because it comes with built-in Game Boy Advance games, and also kind of looks like a Game Boy. But what's so special about this retro mini? Well, the hint is in the title. So let's open up the box and see what's inside. First of all, we get this very tiny packaged item here. This is the actual console itself, and I have small hands. And as you can see, it just all fits in the palm of my hand. And in fact, look how small it is. It's only just over 10 centimeters in height. It's tiny. So that's the actual console. And what else is in the box? Well, let's take a look. Well, not a lot. We have the instruction manual, which is in English or English. It's one of these typical fold-out paper style manuals, as you can see here. Nothing too interesting, it's just the typical stuff that you get on these clone consoles. And you get a USB to micro USB charging cable, which can also be used to transfer data. And that's your lot, no power bricks or anything. So let's take a look at the actual machine. Well, on the front of it we've got the D-pad, which is pretty good. We've got B and A buttons, which again feel pretty good. A select and start button, which, yep, you've guessed it, feel pretty good. I mean, the construction on the buttons is really nice. Usually these cheap Chinese items have really nasty buttons, but this one feels good. It feels really good, high quality. On the side of the machine here, we've got the micro SD card slot, which actually has the micro SD card in at the moment. You have to provide your own. And it fits very flush against the actual machine. It doesn't stick out at all. On the bottom, you can see we've got the charging in and the headphone out socket. Around this side, we've got the volume control and the power on and off switch. On the back of the machine, you can see we've got the L and R trigger buttons. Again, they feel really nice. Nice clicky sound to them too. And in here, we've got the lithium ion battery, which will pretty much run this thing for about 5 hours, which is not too bad at all. Top of the machine, nothing. Okay, so let's switch it on and see what we get. As you can see, it takes a while to boot, and there we go, we have now booted. First thing you'll notice is you get the standard interface here. So we start with game, music, videos, pictures, digital books, and whatever that's meant to be, browser and settings. Now the machine does come with some built-in media. So let's take a look at the video quality. Alright. Oh yes, it comes with that bloody frog. And as you can hear, it's pretty loud. And the sound is pretty clear as well. So let me just turn that down a bit. Okay, so yeah, it plays pretty good videos, to be honest. Okay, and going through the menus, it's also got some music built into it. I'm not going to play a lot of this because guaranteed it's illegal what's in here. It's actually a live version of Hotel California. So just turn up a little bit. Now I did try this with high bitrate MP3s and it worked just fine. Just pause that there. Oops, that's not pausing it. Okay, and as you'd expect, you've got various different play modes you can use for the music, such as graphic equalization and so on. It's also got some built-in pictures to give you an idea of what it looks like. The resolution isn't that good, it's just basic VGA resolution, but you know, It's not too bad for the screen this size. The screen is tiny, so you're not really going to be bothered too much. And as you can see, you can rotate the picture around as well. And finally, the ebook reader. Yep, that's about as basic as you're going to get. So, we're all here to check out the game. So, let's see what games are built into it. Well, it is sold as a Game Boy Advance machine. And as we can see, if we go to the built-in menu, we've got a 40-in-1 Game Boy collection. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the camera a little bit closer so we can get a nicer look at the screen. And let's play some games. So fans of Pokemon will be happy to see that this machine does have a Pokemon game in it. It has Pokemon Emerald. And yes, before anybody mentions in the comments, you can save your game progress on this machine using the save states. It's also got your typical Mario games in here, but we're going to take a look at Metal Slug Advance. One of my favourite games on the Game Boy Advance. Okay, let's start off. Just have a quick look at the screen angle, see how good you can see it on angles. Yeah, typical really. Not too good, not too bad. Pretty average. Okay, well so far the emulation seems to be pretty good. I can see some screen tearing. See that? Screen tearing around about this area. Oh, I just noticed I'm using LNR triggers on the back of the machine to actually throw my bombs. That's going to be kind of awkward. There we go. Alright, I'll hold it like this. Okay, well that's not too bad actually. The emulation seems good enough. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. To exit the game, you hold down select and press start. Then we can quit the game. Now to show you that the save states actually work, I'll go to a game that I had on just before. And if I press start, select and start, I can actually go to the save states option and then load save states. Here we go. And as you can see, straight into the fighting part of the game, which is where I saved it. Controls are very responsive. They don't seem to be lagging at all. Yeah, watch. Yeah, they're pretty responsive, those controls. Yeah, that seems to be working pretty well. Let's see if we get any screen tearing when it scrolls. Let's just check. Oh, come on, die you bugger. Yeah, you can see the screen tearing there as the screen scrolls. Yeah. Okay, so it's not perfect emulation, but it seems to be good enough. Okay, we'll just try one more game. A racing game. Racing games are usually the ones that you can tell if the screen tearing is going to be an issue or not. Okay. Well, yes, again, the controls are very responsive. No issues there. Oops. And the sound emulation seems pretty good as well. surprisingly, the position of the L&R triggers is not that uncomfortable. I mean, I do have small fingers, to be honest, and for me, they seem perfectly, perfectly fine. They're well placed. This F-Zero does seem to be skipping some frames, but again, it is playable. Okay, so let's stop that there. Now, one thing with these machines is they sometimes play other game formats. Even though this is advertised as a Game Boy Advance game player, it may play games from other systems. So what I've done is I've put some games onto the SD card, and yeah, we can see none of them are listed there. Well, that might be just because it's looking for, specific extension names on the file. So we'll go to the file manager and try and load up some games from here. Okay, here's Power Strike for the Sega Master System. Let's see if this will run. Open. No, it doesn't want to run Master System games. Okay. Let's try Rastan also for the Master System. No, it won't run Master System. Okay, this is a Mega Drive game here, a homebrew. Let's see if we can play this. Yes, it plays Mega Drive games. Okay, Fix It Felix. Let's see if we can actually get it to play. Yeah, it works. The music doesn't seem to be working. I'm sure this had some music on it. Yep, and we can use save states as well. Okay, let's try another Mega Drive ROM. This is a classic Donkey Kong, another homebrew for the Mega Drive. Will it play it? Yes, it does. Okay, so this thing will play Sega Mega Drive games. And this one has music. A little bit slow though, yeah. Sounds a little bit slow there. Okay, yes, very good, very good. Okay, so we know it plays Sega Mega Drive. Okay, let's see if it will play Super Nintendo or Super Famicom. Here's Vending Rangers R2. Yes, it does. It also plays Super Famicom games. Oh, man. Let's see how it emulates this. Now, the problem is that the Super Famicom has 6 buttons. This machine only has 4. Well, maybe you count these as 6. Pause is pause. Okay. Oh, well, fire's maybe on... Yeah, fire's on a trigger button. Yeah, the emulation is very slow. Okay, well, let's try another Super Famicom game. I've got Rockman X here. Let's try that. Yeah, they take a while to boot the Super Famicom games. Come on. Yeah, the sound emulation is not too good there. You can tell when he fired. Alright, jump. Fire's on the trigger button. Yeah, as you can see, it's kind of jerky. And the sound emulation is off. You can tell when he fires. Okay, well, you know, it kind of plays them. Okay, and I've also put a PC Engine game on here. Let's see if it will run. Street Fighter Championship Edition for the PC Engine. No, it didn't. Okay, Jackie Chan PC Engine. No, it doesn't run PC Engine ROMs. Hammer and Harry, standard NES or Famicom. It plays it. Okay. Let's get busy. And since the NES only has 2 buttons, they are mapped correctly to the face buttons. Speed is good. Sound emulation seems a bit off though. Okay, very good. Not bad at all. And I know this ain't gonna run it, but let's just see if it will run Nintendo 64 ROMs. No, it didn't. And here we go with a Mega CD-ROM. Will it run that? It might do because it did run Mega Drive. Nope, it reset the machine. Alright, so there you have it. Okay, so there we have it, the Retro Mini. A device which is advertised as just being a Game Boy Advance game player. But you can play your video files on it, you can play music MP3 files on it, and we also found out it plays Sega Mega Drive, not so good. Super Famicom, Super Nintendo games, again, not so good. And NES games, which did seem to run pretty well, although the sound did seem a little bit off on them. This thing is not the cheapest of the clones out there. It usually costs around about $40 to $50, so it is a little bit more expensive than your average super cheap clone. But, you know, the form factor of it is really nice. I mean, it's just so cute. Look at it. Little tiny thing. Don't forget, I got small hands. It's tiny. And as I mentioned before, these L&R triggers on the back do seem to feel quite well. Yeah, I can imagine maybe prolonged gameplay on this may give you a bit of a cramped feeling if you've got big hands. But yeah, if you're a person with small hands, you can do a lot worse than the Retro Mini. Recommended. It's a pretty good clone knockoff console from China. And to all my Patreon viewers, you will be getting the chance to get some of these Chinese knockoff game machines as prizes for being Patreons. That's right. So from now, sometimes I will be giving away some of the machines which I review. Unfortunately, not this one because this one's already been sold. But the next machine I review next week will be given away to one of my Patreon viewers. So it doesn't matter how much you donate. It could be $1, it could be $10, it could be $20. It really doesn't matter. But everyone who donates to my Patreon will get the chance to receive the next Chinese knockoff item I'm going to review. And that is going to become an ongoing thing throughout this series. I'm not going to be selling all the machines from now on. I'm going to be giving some of them away. Okay, so I will be doing the draws for the machines when I give them away live. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to print out all the names, put them in a little hat or a little bag or whatever, and pick one at random. So you never know, you could be the next lucky owner of some Chinese knockoff items. But until next time, keep on gaming and enjoy your games, and I'll see you again soon.